everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, that I know, because we come live every Wednesday for you guys here on Facebook, everywhere, actually, across the interwebs. That's how I know what day of the week it is. Otherwise, we lose our mind a little bit, but who doesn't? Welcome to Matchmaker Live, a show where their jokes are made up and the points don't matter. I'm just kidding. That's from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I wrote that down earlier and I was very proud of myself because I thought that was funny, and I would give myself a solid 7 saying it out loud live with you all. Welcome, you guys. Seriously, if you guys are here tonight, all jokes aside, you're in the right place. Let's just pull up a couple of reasons or how you'd be in the right place. If you're single and you're dating or you're trying to connect with people and you're just like date after date, you're not finding sparks with anyone. You're thinking, why is it so dang tough to meet just someone normal? Please. I'm not even doing quality anymore. Just normal, please. Or if you've been scammed, heaven forbid, on the internet, lots of stories of those. Or if you've had bad experiences either online or offline, or you guys, hey, maybe you've just been hurt in your past and you're worried that's going to happen to you again. I get it. You're human. You're entitled to that. But it depends on how long you've been hanging on to that excuse, buddy. Anyway, let us know what's been going on and put in the comments for us. We're so excited to be hanging out here with you guys, Matchmaker Live. But before we get there, just want to chat with you guys about who am I? Who is this gal with the turtle Tiffany glasses? That's me. What's going on? I'm Elisa Perifico. I am your resident host and date strategist. I'm the resident host of this fine community here. And stick around. We're going to be giving away a free VIP membership to our singles group here. If you're not in our VIP group yet, you don't know what you're missing, because this Sunday we are hosting a live watch party in the group with our friends over at Donate Sundays. Literally our best friends over there. Not only are they donating all of their proceeds to an amazing cause, but it's literally the coolest thing ever. They're teaching a donut making class by real chefs, like really, really good ones. And you need to come. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. And it's literally a date idea that's been given to you by the date gods. So if you're that person that's just like, man, I am out of ideas of cool things to do for dates, I don't want to hear it, because I've never done a donut making class and literally this is my job. So do it. All right. Anyway, so if you want to come join us live, we're going to be in the group. You can come join us at meetthematchmaker.com. We'll bring up those details again later on in the show. Okay, so let's dive into this, you guys. So we're chatting about failure tonight. And listen, I'm not going to make this a Debbie Downer show because we don't roll like that. This is upbeat. How to date without fail, okay? This is how you date and structure yourself for success. How do you date and make sure you never fail on another date again? And it's possible, I assure you. But we're going to talk about why. But first, let's talk about when is failure expected? Okay, let's bring this out really, really surface for a second. Because the idea of failure, or the idea of doing something and it not working, is very normal. It's like life, right? You're not good at everything all the time. That's not real. So let's think about it. Let's name them off. Sports, right? That's expected. You're going to fail a lot at sports. Practice until you master. Arts, music, all these things, right? You practice. Language, academia. We've all, failed our share of tests, whatever the case is. But my point is, you weren't perfect at all of these things unless you're a prodigy. And if I'm correct with math, there aren't a lot of prodigies around, which is why they're prodigies. So So why is it that we haven't been taught to fail when it comes to relationships? Why is it when it comes to the relationship department, you're just supposed to hit it out of the park first time around without any information or guidance or anything? Does that make any sense to anybody? It didn't make any sense to me, so that's why we're talking about it. But here's why, though. Because in our culture, we've been taught that, your first love could be your last love, right? It's very true. I mean, you don't pick, your first love and go, you know what, this person is going to be a really good first love for me until I move on to my second, and if you did, then that's a different conversation. But most people, you fall in love. It's an emotional thing. You don't plan it. And you don't know when that relationship's going to end, and you hope it doesn't. And so that's not your fault, guys. But again, back to my prodigy comparison here, getting into your first relationship and hoping it's going to be the one that works and it's the best is literally like picking up the cello without having any idea how to play the cello and hoping you're going to play. I mean, guys, I know that sounds silly, but the reality is there is a lot of trial and error that needs to happen in relationships and not enough conversation that's going around about it before you can really see success. And so what's going on with that is because you're not expecting to make mistakes and be okay with that, you're not hitting the numbers you need to hit in order for you to really be to find that relationship that you need. All these things that we're thinking about a little backwards, but before we get there, I'm sure I am expanding your brain at the second. But before we dive into that, you guys, I want to just bring it out for a second and let's compare it. I want to just say, well, number one, it's not your fault. Like I said before, you are a product of your environment. However, now that this lens is coming into focus for you, you're going to start to see that your perceived problem of, man, I just have crappy luck. I'm just, why is there nobody good out there for me? Why she plays games with me and he just talks to me and he doesn't, all he does is text me. He doesn't do anything. Instead of you constantly, saying all that, maybe the core problem is that your expectations are off. So if we looked at this differently, maybe you have a different experience. Okay. Let's look at this from a different way. Before you can complain about your dating life or wonder what to do with it, you need to answer yourself this next question, which is, do you know what you're looking for? Okay. And I ask this, and don't just tell me love. Okay. What's that? What's love? Describe it for me specifically. All right. Don't just tell me I want a relationship. I need you to describe it for me very specifically. What are you two doing together? Are you laying in bed? Are you getting up early and going on runs? The crazy people who do things like that. Are you reading? Are you hiking? What are you doing? What are you seeing together? Are you movie people? Are you sports people? Are you planning a trip to Europe next summer? What are you feeling together? Is this a thrilling relationship? Is this a very secure relationship? Are you feeling at ease and secure? What are you touching? What are you smelling? These are super important questions to answer, because if you don't, then you don't know what you're going after, guys. You don't know what you're even attracting or what you're looking for. And if you've taken this moment to say, hey, you know what? I haven't really given this the good old thought that it needs. But then I would say to you, well, then awesome. I applaud you for your honesty. And this is all the more reason that, you need to and listen up, right? Because this is a wake-up call for a lot of people to understand that their love lives, a very deep, meaningful connection, is supposed to literally fall in your lap, which makes no sense. So how do we combat that? How do we fit that into our life? How do we fit a real meaningful relationship? How do we find a real meaningful relationship amongst all the other things that we're doing in our life right now? But even still, you might be in the camp of, Elisa, I do not need to define what I'm looking for. I will know when I know. It's my favorite. I will know when I know. And I get you. I understand. But here's the problem. The last time you knew, you were probably younger, like a lot. And we mature and age. And every decade or so, guys, everything changes, right? Your brain, your hormones, your experiences, and you're trying to wait on the way you felt 15 years ago. None of these things make any sense. So in reality, it's important to know what moves and defines you, or else you're not going to find it. So like I said before, when we go back to all these other things that you work really, really hard at in your life, let's take your job, for example. When you look for a job, what do? Do you actively research? Do you make contacts? Do you ask friends? Do you do legwork? Yes. I do all those things. Or are you doing whatever you want and hope that it'll just change magically and just hop in your lap? You just hope a dream job will slap you in the face. I really hope you don't pick number 2, because you'll be waiting a long time. Or about your health. I mean, I feel like everybody can relate to this. If you're trying to get in shape, or you're trying to get yourself healthy, are you watching what you eat? Are you working out? Are you doing research? Or are you doing whatever you want and hoping it's just going to magically change on its own? Right? I mean, I think all of us do number 2, but in reality, guys, your love life is the same way. So why do all of us sit around, watch these movies, watch these shows? We don't spend any active time on our love lives and growing those love lives and expect a real meaningful result. You guys are asking for the long haul. You guys are asking for love. You're asking for the Holy Grail. What are you doing to get it? Yeah? I mean, listen, I know you get it, but sometimes someone just needs to say it. You know? That's how I feel. Okay, so that's really what it's about. If your health is important to you, if your job and your work is important to you, if your passions, sports or arts is important to you, these things that you have worked at, that you have failed at, that you still tried at regardless of your failure, I think it's time that we add another pillar in there, yeah? What about your relationship? What about your love? Especially, guys, if you're one of those people that raise their hands and they're like, I want the real thing. I want to live with somebody. I want somebody to be with me, better for worse. If you are seriously sitting there right now and you're like, I want better for worse. Woo, what are you doing to get better for worse, right? Okay, so let's back that up for a second. Once you have defined what you're looking for, and I hope you write it down because it's a good exercise. And again, I don't mean it that you define it, you put yourself in a box. I mean it in the sense that you describe it as an experience, not what it looks like conditionally. I'm not saying your person needs to be a certain height or a certain hair color or a certain blah, blah, blah. Go back to the 5 senses I just talked about. What are you guys doing together, seeing together, feeling together, all those things. Once you've answered those questions and you understand what you're looking for, I want you to ask yourself how long you've been single. Okay? And again, people, this is not judgment time. This is about observing. If you're somebody that craves love, and chances are you have your entire life, it's in our human nature, then let's take a little bit of a magnifying glass on why and the length of which. If you recently single within the last 6 months, I'm going to tell you I love you, but I need you to chill your jets. You are healing. Absorb the information, but just understand that you are in the healing process. So I love you. If you have been single for 1 to 4 years, I'm going to ask you, okay, cool. What have you been doing? Have you been dating? How's it been going? What have been the ups? What have been the downs? Have there been flings? What's been going on? And we're going to take that time to course correct. If you've been single for over 5 years at this point, knowingly, voluntarily, you've got a huge wall up that we need to bring on down. We need to bring it on down. Because you are actively saying no, and you're actively keeping somebody away from you, because there's a lot of love on this planet to go around. And if you're alone, that means you're stopping somebody from giving you that love, and we don't like that. Okay, but the real $1 million question, you guys, is why do you think you are single? All right, let's let that sink in for a moment. Because, and again, this is not a self-deprecating exercise, guys. I want us to think about this because you're going to realize some things that you thought were a bigger deal that aren't. And some things that you thought were unsolvable, some things you thought were unsolvable but are. And that there are tools that are actually at your disposal that you can use to solve them quickly. You just never really realized they were there, and you never really realized you could solve it right away. So let's think about this. Why are we single? Okay. And again, the reason why I'm asking the deep questions, you guys, because if you want gold, you got to dig. There's a reason why gold isn't just hanging out in the grass on top of, of the flowers there for you to pluck and pick. You want the gold, you better dig, you better hire a team, you better get down there, you better keep digging even though you don't find any, because those who find it, reap the benefits. Okay, enough with my metaphors. So let's really think about it for a minute. You are single. Why are you single? You're either saying to yourself right now, you either aren't putting enough serious attention on your love life, or maybe your expectations are wrong. It's usually one of the two. Or you're just not in a place to date, and that's understandable, but that's a different convo. So let's take it a step further, guys. Then you're saying to me, okay, all right, I'm here. I'm not feeling that spark. Well, the spark, the magical, my favorite question ever. I didn't feel that spark. Why didn't I feel that spark on dates? Why aren't you feeling spark on dates? Well, it's a good question. And the reason is because, one, you're chasing a spark. I'm going to ask you how old you are. And I know that it sounds silly, but here's the thing. When you don't really give yourself any education about falling in love, you start to refer to things that are in the back of your knowledge and back of your memory, and saying things like feeling that spark. You're referring to movies, you're referring to romantic comedies, you're referring to things that are not grounded in any way, shape, or form of civilization. But what really we're saying, though, is that I'm not feeling a connection on dates, and I need to really figure out why that is. Not just blame the universe that everybody I meet sucks. We need to figure out, okay, why is it? Why am I having such a not so stellar experience with all these people that I'm chatting with, right? Gals, I hear it all the time. They're chatting with all these guys, and they're just talking to them, these like pen pals. And these guys get frustrated with these girls, and vice versa. And, it doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, you are saying to yourself, I want a serious relationship. And you've either, like we said earlier, you've been scammed and you've had a bad experience online. So you've got this wall up, right? Naturally so. You're an adult and you're dating online, and you're skeptical about literally everything, of course. Or two, you've been hurt in your past and you're worried it's going to happen again. Okay. I feel like you and everyone else, right? Again, with the connections, maybe you are going on the dates and there's just no sparks in none of these things. So there's a concept I want you to understand. If you have your guard up, right? You're going on dates. The more bad dates you go on, the more you're going to have your guard up. Or, the more bad experiences you have, you're going to have your guard up. Or you're super scared and you have your guard up. Either way, we've established the guard is up. Okay? So, and actually it's not a bad thing, because having your guard up is actually your body's biological response to telling you either, one, you need to avoid danger, or two, you need to reject this mate and move on to the next because your experience has literally told you so. Your guard is up so you can protect yourself and you can be smarter, right? So, and I know that sounds rather silly, but let's think about this from a different perspective. In order to make a love connection, for example, or even a deeper one than something platonic, or in order to fall in love, you have to be vulnerable. Let me say that differently. if you want to fall in love, you need to be vulnerable. Would you agree? Yes. Okay. In order to be vulnerable, you have to be relaxed enough to let your guard down. Would you agree with that as well? Okay, we're moving along. So if your guard is up because you've had a lot of bad dates, or because you've been deeply hurt, how are you going to all of a sudden be relaxed enough, be vulnerable enough to fall in love if your body biologically thinks it's in danger or it's dealing with danger? Right? I'm just going to say that again slowly. I'm going to say it for you again. Okay. So in order to fall in love or make a connection, you need to be vulnerable. Yes? Yes. And in order to be vulnerable, you have to be relaxed enough to let your guard down. So if we've established the guard is up because of all your bad dates or because you've been hurt in your past, how are you going to be relaxed enough all of a sudden to let the guard down to fall in love because your body is biologically telling you that there is danger in front of you, aka crazy in front of you, or you are in danger, right? Like, and those things aren't true. And you're going to say to me, yeah, Elise, I get it. Rah, 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 rah. I'm not in danger. Elise, I'm not a child. I understand. But it's not about that. It's not about your brain biologically telling your body you're not in danger. Your body has a baby mind of its own in the body. It doesn't, they're not the same. Ironically, you have to unify them. And so your body and your heart don't know the difference between these two. It's like, have you ever gotten stage fright before? Like that feeling of like, I'm going to die, but you're not going to die. You know that, right? And so a lot of it's about the feeling of your body, though, can't tell the difference. Your body doesn't know it's going to die. Your body can't tell the difference between if there's a predator in front of you or if you're on stage. It's literally the same feeling, which is blows my mind constantly. So how does that tie into your dating? Your body doesn't know the difference between your bad date and a potential predator in the wild, man or woman. And that's a problem, right? And I don't mean predator, all jokes aside. I mean, like literally, like there's too much of that happening. And so you're misinterpreting your natural feelings for whatever you're seeing with absolute truth, when in reality, you probably just need a little reworking with yourself. And so the big picture problem here is that since your body is in protect mode, it literally can't produce the chemicals necessary in your brain to fall in love because your body is so naturally on guard from your bad experiences, right? Your body is in protect mode, so it literally cannot produce the chemicals necessary in your brain to fall in love because you are so on guard about any of the bad experiences that you've had. Whether or not you are actively working on it or saying it doesn't bother you, that stuff is deep rooted in you. So the more you repress it or the more you don't acknowledge it, the harder it's going to be for you. So all these things we're just digging up, right? We're just digging up. So I get it, right? So a lot of what we want to chat a little bit about is how we want to feel in a relationship, okay? So you're like, I get it, Elise, all right, I get it. You know things that I don't, blah, blah, blah. How do I fix it? What do I do? And so now we're like, okay, we know that we have to dig a little deeper in terms of what we want and how we get it. And now it's about how do you want to feel in the relationship, right? Like, what do you want? What do you really want? Don't tell me what you want physically. How do you want to feel? How do you want your life to be? I mean, because when you think about your dream job, you don't think about what you're doing logistically. Like, you don't want to be a pro football player because it's the word pro football player. You want to do it because of the exhilaration you get from winning games. Or if you're a performer, it's from being on stage. But so with your relationship, you need to give it that dimension, that same breath of energy and thought and vision, because if you don't, he didn't come into you, friend. So once you've established what it is you want what it looks and feels and smells like and all that kind of stuff. And that you might have to approach it from a different way, right? How do we go about doing something different, right? So that's a great question. What are we going to do differently now than we did before? Okay, so you have that information that, okay, so what I've been doing for the last 20 years has gotten me no results, hasn't gotten me any better. So I need to do something different. What is it? So let me think of that pragmatically before I make an emotional decision, which is a good thing. So first things first, you should know what tools are at your disposal so that you can actually start pushing yourself towards what you want instead of away from it. You know, a lot of times with love, we just get, and you know, people who are in relationships and not in relationships, we tend to be victims all the time to ourselves. We talk ourselves into being victims. And I'll go back to comparing like we did before with the jobs and with your work and with all these other things that you're like, you know what? No, I got to work harder for this. Your love life, you're like, no, that should be given to me. It should be free. It should be easy. It should be rainbows and butterflies and somebody should make a movie around it. Come on, y'all. Get a grip. You know that's not real. Why do we think that though, right? It's because we don't actually say these things out loud and give it as much substance, as much weight as these other things. So again, first things first, know what tools are at your disposal. So no more sitting around, okay? No more just like swiping on your phone and being like, oh, well, this isn't doing it. It's like, no, if that's not working, it's time to do something different. It's time to find the right help or find the right community. Okay, so first things first, know what tools you can use. And when I say community, by the way, hello, ding, ding, community that we run, go to meetamatchmaker.com, yes. But we run a vetted group, right? We run a community of people who feel the same way. And one of the biggest and most utilized tools in our group is our public dater checks, we call them. And basically what this is, everybody in our group, they use the group for the tools. And if you're currently actively dating, you're likely using a bunch of different platforms or apps or sites or whatever. Or maybe nothing, maybe you're doing it in person, but regardless, we are in 2020 and it is in your best interest for sure to check out who the heck it is you're talking to. So we run background checks so we can make sure you know who it is that you're talking to, which is super duper important. Okay, cool. And then that way, when you are dating, you could just feel stronger, you could feel more secure, and that guard, we're just doing all these things to bring the guard down, which is super duper importante. And I'm actually going to let one of our members do the talking for us. Take a look at, this is one of the tools that we use. Take a look at one of our members, what happened recently when who really joined our community, and she had a not so great experience happen to her, and we shut it down. So check it out. Hi.
How are you?
Girl, you've got to update. Mwah. Go.
So what's happening now? You know, I joined a couple of sites, social sites. Just it got boring with this pandemic. I said, let me just join, see what's out there. You know, since I was still single, but I'm giving one young fella. He's about 58. I'm 61. I'm giving him some time. He's from California, and he sent me 2 dozens of flowers a couple days ago, along with HelloFresh. $80 gift certificate.
Girl,
and what else did we do?
What are we talking about right now? Why are we on the phone?
And I'm trying to figure out, you know, he's so far. He's in California. He's good to talk to. He really treats me like a queen.
I like this. I'm not for nothing. I'm just watching your energy right now, honey, and you like this guy, and I can see it and feel it. And I know you're nervous because he's in Cali. That's what I can tell.
And he's in Cali. He has his late meetings. He has his friend Alan that he meets a lot with, and Alan gives him referrals. So, you know, I try to do a lookup, a search, because I'm always curious about searches. I mean, my girlfriend a while back, she did a search, and she couldn't believe the stuff that was in the background of this young man. Mm-hmm. Including incarceration, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find anything on him.
Couple key nuggets for you that you're going to be equally as psyched and bummed about, I think, at the same time. It's bittersweet. Okay, bittersweet. That's a better word.
Okay.
Here's the first thing. Number one is that you are going to fall in love again. Here's the good part. You're going to fall in love again, and it's actually going to be better than more mature than it was the first time. The bittersweet part, it's really not bad. It's just different. It's going to feel different though to you. So I think a lot of where we kind of trick ourselves as adults is like, okay, well, I'm waiting. I'll know because I knew when it was that time, and so I'm waiting for something similar, or
right.
that shift. But the reality is, you are a different person now than you were then.
Oh, absolutely.
And he is too. And also, this is a different environment. And so I see people miss opportunities because they're thinking it's going to feel a certain way, when in reality, we just need to position ourselves in a certain place to receive that kind of energy. And mainly men, and it's funny, you mentioned guys being aggressive. If they're aggressive, it's because they don't know what to do. These poor guys, they're just like, some say weird things, and other ones are scammers, and other ones are just straight up gross. But you're right. It is easy for a guy to wine and dine you virtually across state lines. Like, that is easy breezy, lemon squeezy. You could be
sure is
right. Are there other flags about him or things other than the fact that he's in California that you find unattractive, or is that really the main bottleneck? That's really the main blocker for you guys to potentially even consider something else?
Well, I haven't met him face to face, and face to face says a lot. You can talk on the phone.
Have you done this?
No face. No, I hate doing Zoom. I don't like that, and I hate myself on camera.
No, girl, I'll help you with that though. But that's an easy fix though, because here's a couple things. One, there's a beauty filter that most women don't know about, and I will send you the article, and you just turn it on, and it gives you a little zhuzhi. It's so nice. And then two, and I'll give you some tips on lighting, but this is an easy fix. Like, even right now in your worst lighting, as you call it, you're stunning. Like, seriously,
thank you.
So I'm not worried about that. But the reason I ask about the video chat is because that's your fastest way to figure out if this thing's real or not. I mean, that's real. Any guy and also his response to it. If he's weird about it, get out of there. Like, why would he be weird about a video chat? These things they're kind of nuts how they unravel. So check it out. Our girl Rhonda, that's not her real name for privacy reasons, but anyway, missing the point. After she signed up with the VIP group, we ran dater background checks on both of those guys. Okay, not only one but two guys. And that charming, mysterious California guy that she was talking to. And actually, you guys, I'm just going to share with my screen. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to show you. All right, so see down here, this guy. This is the photo that he was sending her. That, look how cute he is. He said he was in the States. That these were his dogs. And after we ran the check, just take a look right up here. This is just one of the photos of him, but we ran the full check of the full report. It turned out to be a celebrity reporter in Brazil. His name is Donnie D'Annunzio. Very handsome, no doubt, but not our man. Okay, because I don't think Donnie is available. He's very much hitched, and he's very much in Brazil. And he also has no idea that his identity is being impersonated by somebody in the United States. Okay, so anyway, the moral of the story is, you guys, these two guys were talking to her. She was totally under the impression they were someone different. A quick check, and boom, later, we busted these guys. We figured out who they were. And now she doesn't have to spend any more time dreaming about what life might be like with these two guys, because they're not real. And so she can actually move on and go start talking to real guys who are who they say they are. It's designed to help people just feel way more confident and secure about who they're dating, so they can fall for people locally if possible, but if not possible, then at least vetted. We run checks on all of your dates. That way, whoever you decide to engage with, you can feel confident about, more information than.
That's awesome. I'm impressed. That's a wonderful thing. I don't think a lot of social sites like this do that.
Nobody does. I think this is important for you anyway, just for your own safety, my love, all jokes aside. I think the fact that you're dating these guys, I think that's important, and you having a partner that you can just kind of have your back and making sure that they're just legit.
Absolutely. This will give me a lot of relief to know who I'm talking to.
Yes, girl. If you have any questions, you just reach out, let me know. Book a time with me. We got you.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay. So moral of the story here, you guys, is even if you haven't been scammed on a dating site yet, and I hope you never do, but even if you haven't been scammed, if you feel like you've been catfished or even kitten fished, as we sort of put it, if you feel like you've been misled on the internet in any way, if you've been on a bad date and you've been going back and forth with this person, and you finally go on a date in person and they show up and they're not who you thought they were. They don't look like that. They don't sound like that. How many times has that happened to you, right? So whether you've been scammed or you've just been misled in some sort of way, we're at the point in this time in our lives, in the world, where you've got to offer resources to protect your time, to protect your heart, because people are getting smarter about scamming and taking advantage of you. So be smart. There are affordable options, easy options to check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right. So anyway, if you want to run a dater background check like I just did, then click below. It'll lead you to join our community, and it will also lead you to booking a time to run a check. And so either way, I hope you do it. You better do it. You are important. Your life is important. And I can't wait to meet you and see you in the group. All right. I love that. So much fun. I am 100% wearing the same shirt. Listen, I'm going to own it. At least my hair is different. Let's just say that. I'm getting different shirts. That was not on purpose, but I like this shirt. It's a comfortable shirt. But at least my hair is different. Anyway, but for real, what's crazy about that story, you guys, is that that happens a lot. Like, that happens a lot. People aren't who they say they are. I see a lot of comments of people saying that they don't value relationships anymore. Men and women alike. I hear that a lot too. That they just don't value them like they used to. And here's the thing: people do. There are people that do. There's people that don't, but there's people that do. So the question doesn't become, oh, I guess life sucks. People just don't care about relationships anymore. No, the question becomes, how do I get to the people that do? How do I get to the people that care about relationships the way I do? How do I get to the people that want to have a relationship the way I do? And if you don't care enough to go find the answer to that, then you don't care enough to have the relationship. For real, y'all. But this is a good thing. Because here's the thing. Being in love is the best thing in the entire world. It is literally the only thing that matters. It is literally what we're made of. It is the thing that changes your brain and your heart and all these things to help you become part of the world. So yeah, it's going to take a second. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some real ego humbling on your end to get you that good stuff, but it's totally worth it. Yes, it's worth it. Okay. I want to ask you guys a question before we recap. I want to poll it out. We're going to put up a poll here. And by the way, my parents are watching, or they were last week, and I got in trouble for how many ums I'm saying. Oh, well, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying regardless. All right, but let's talk about a poll for a second. What's your biggest dating struggle, you guys? Talk to me. Oh, there we go. Boop. What's your biggest dating struggle? Is it time? Are you super duper busy that you can barely make time for yourself, right? You guys are my favorite with those. Are you a selection person? Is it I'm dating, but I really can't find quality? Where's my quality person? Or are you a resource person where you're very, very clear that you don't know where to start? You could use some more tools. Maybe you've been out of the game for a while. Maybe you've never been in love. Maybe you're just totally honest with yourself about that. Let us know where you're at. What's your biggest hurdle? I really, really want to know, you guys. Is it time? Is it selection? Or is it resources? And if you're going to say all the above, guys, just give me a more detailed answer, okay? Just don't be like everything, because that doesn't help. And it's also not a real answer for you, because that's not the case. You need to give yourself some specifics, guys. Okay, so I want to take a couple more things. Let's recap for a second, and then we're going to take some questions from you guys, and then we'll pick our winner. But I want to mention a couple things that we learned tonight. We learned that if we feel like the problem, let me backtrack. See, this is live. If we learned the problem seems like it's the lack of selection around you, if that's what it seems like the problem is, that everything sucks, everybody sucks, nothing works, and you've really given it a try, then we've learned that the core problem is actually that your expectations, your current expectations, are not serving you. They're just not. And it's time to adjust the amount of people that you're dating, which is insane. Nobody wants to date a ton of people. So if that's not the case, then it's time to adjust the quality of person you're dating. How do you adjust the quality of person you're dating? I am so happy you asked. You join awesome communities, cough, cough, wink, wink, like ours at meetamatchmaker.com. And I'm not just saying that, but any community that has been curated, that has been put together by real people is a good one to join, because that means there's other like-minded people in that group. So I don't care if it's our group. I don't care if it's a meetup. I don't care if it's your virtual soccer team, whatever you guys do. If you want to be in a relationship, you better be putting yourselves actively in places to find other people, to find the relationship. If you're not actively putting yourself in situations to find other people who want relationships, then you cannot raise your hand and say, oh, I guess I'm meant to be alone, right? Right? We got to think about these things. All right, so back to that. How do we do that? The first step is to head to meetamatchmaker.com. Come join our singles community. We have way too much fun in there. I promise I'm not all tough love. I'm trying to lighten up, I promise. I've just had the judge hearings on all week. I'm like really pumped. It's like really interesting watching this hearing. I've never heard, anyway, we won't go there. But go to meetamatchmaker.com, get yourself in the community. We want to start talking to you. We are hosting our live party this weekend with Donate Sundays. We're going to make some donuts. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Very excited. Keep thinking about it. Come with us. We're going to be hosting a live watch party on Sunday here in the group. So you got to go to meetamatchmaker.com in order to join us. And now I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions from you all. I think there was one I wanted to address in particular. Yeah. I love this. Yeah. I think it's neither one. Many men are just not ready to commit many times. I truly believe that your gentleman's out there, but no one must go through a lot of men to not have what you're looking for in a partner. Relationships are not valued as it once was. I love that you wrote this, because that's a great example of what we just talked about, that it's like, hey, you've gone on what I'm sure feels like your fair share of dates. I get it. But here's the thing. Even if you've gone on 375 dates, that's not enough in your lifetime. I mean, in terms of giving you this granular information, because think of all the times that you had to fail at a perfect shot to get that perfect swish or make a perfect sandwich or whatever you had to do to really master a craft. So I'm not saying go on a million dates to find the best person, but what I'm saying is there are ways to kind of chop off the fat, chop off ways that you don't need to be focusing on attention that you don't really need, right? You can start to look at it that way, that not everybody gets your time and attention. It's just the truth. And you have to stick by it, and you have to believe it. You have to really believe that your time is valuable, because you're not getting it back. You're not getting any younger. And if you really start believing that, then you're going to start to be a lot more conscious about who you're giving your time to. And then you're going to start to proactively take more choices. You're going to start to proactively do more things to find people that feel the same way and prioritize their life the way you do. Okay, so that's that. Let's pick somebody. Go to meetamatchmaker.com. Join us. We have so much fun. Donuts on Sunday. Join our VIP group. We'll run data background checks. We do all the things. So we're here to help you. We're here to have fun. We're here to help you fall in love. So that's what we do. We're here every Wednesday going live. Sometimes I have my really awesome expert friends on this show. Sometimes it's just me. But we're always talking about cool, awesome things. And we want to know what you guys want to know. So don't be scared. Don't be shy, but please be specific. And if you want to be on the show, and you have a story that you want to share, please go to meetamatchmaker.com, but email us as well at support@matchmakerreview.com, which we don't have that graphic ready, but you should do that. Okay, you guys, that is all I have except for the winner. My team is going to message me a winner, except I don't have the sheet up. Hold on, my bad. I did not have that ready. That's my bad. Team. Well, they're getting that for me. So they're gonna come upstairs because I'm not ready. But here we go. Support. What'd you say? In the chat. He says in the chat. I'm coming. Oh, here we go. Private chat. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry, I didn't scare you. Okay. So first things first. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. If you want to be on the show or you want to be, or you have any questions or if you want to share your story, support at matchmakerreview.com. We'll put you in touch with us. And the winner for a free VIP membership to our community is Nick Gonzalez. Sir, congratulations. You have got a free VIP membership to our community. That's worth some good moolah, friend. So make sure that you go to meetamatchmaker.com and book an appointment with me to claim your, hey, Nick, there he is, sir. There you are. Make sure you go to meetamatchmaker.com, book your time with me to claim your VIP membership, and we'll get you all set up into the group, into the community, and get you dating. All right, you guys, that is all I have for tonight. Stay sexy, stay cool, stay awesome, stay weird, stay all the things. And know that no matter what it is, you can do it. You're going to get yourself through it. We're going to get each other through it, and we're here for you. I love you so much. We are here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And if you want to chat, come join our group, meetamatchmaker.com. Until next time, mwah, love you so much, guys.